we get started, there's something you should know about the Shirley and Clove podcast.
We like to curse. We use words like and
Yikes. So if you don't mind your kids listening to grown folks talk, turn this shit up
and let the show begin. Okay, Mr. DJ. I have to say something. What?
I think I fell down the wishing well, barking up the wrong tree under this spell.
Okay.
Is it a throne or is it a chair? Dizzy, dizzy, I'm seeing stars everywhere. Spin, spin, spin around, spin, spin, spin around.
Okay.
Spin, spin around.
It's kind of long, but the lyrics.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
So the idea is that I think she's supposed to be like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And she's in like a teacup right now. And she's like spinning around.
Okay, Gwen Stefani. You ain't Gwen Stefani. She's trying to do her little, what you faded, what you faded, what you faded, what you faded, what you faded for?
Oh yeah, she's totally Alice in Wonderland. She's sitting in a giant chair right now,
Okay.
looking all small.
I mean,
There's so much going on in this.
it's like, yeah. It's not like the beat and everything. The vibe is, it's a good vibe, like, you know, but it's the
It's a
lyrics.
lie. It's a lie. Allô, bonjour. Sac passé, moi les Clove.
Hello, bonjour, hi, ni hao, sac passé. I'm Shirley, aka Cree Summer.
I'm sorry, did you say Bree?
No, I'm Cree Summer.
Cree.
Yes, Cree Summer.
Okay.
And welcome to the Shirley and Clove podcast, the personal comedy journal of an interracial couple who explores the world and current events from different perspectives and experiences.
Yes, and you are joining us today on August 8th, 2021 at 1:07 p.m.
In the motherfucking Eastern time.
Scratch, 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 scratch.
Because I spin, spin, spin around. Spin, spin, spin around. Do, 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 do. Spin, spin, spin around. Spin, spin, spin around. Do, 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 do. It's in my head now.
Same.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm doing cool, too.
Yeah.
The bus came. It was,
Finally.
yeah, it was only, oh my gosh. Okay. Like, the waiting for the girls yesterday was bananas.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get home until an hour and a half
Nope.
later.
Nope.
So the kids, like, they finish around 3.
Yeah, you got home just in time for the thunderstorm, which is great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is up? Like, there was thunder all night.
Yeah.
It woke me up. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, thunder. Like, that's how you trying to get my attention?
You make thunder sound like it's insecure.
It really is. It was like, to a point.
Hey.
And
Hey.
I do remember when you said, like, the lightning woke you, and for me, the thunder sound woke me,
Yeah.
right? What the fuck, thunder? Like,
Spin, spin, spin around. Spin, spin, spin around.
and the timing of the thunderstorm last night,
Yeah.
of our roof getting done, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
thank goodness for that.
Yep.
Because then, you know, you had a little piece on the wall there that was bubbling up, and we're like, oh, we gotta get it done.
What were we like?
We gotta get it done. Anyway, basically the thunder's rude as
Right.
fuck, and the lightning, like, and I do remember, oh yeah, because you said the lightning woke you up. Later,
Yeah.
when you said that, I was like, you know what, I thought it was my dream that I saw flashing light in my on my eye. You know when
Uh-huh.
sometimes somebody, you're sleeping and somebody turn on the light out of nowhere and you're in a deep sleep and you're like, is this my dream? And you're like, ah.
Yeah.
And so I do remember that.
Okay.
It was very bright.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anywho, yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. That's all I wanted to share. Oh yeah.
Big thunder.
Yes. And coming home. So yesterday I waited, the school bus was late by like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then Lita missed her bus. Like her bus took off. Didn't wait for her to get home.
She apologized for that, by the way.
Who?
The bus driver.
Oh, she did?
This morning. Yeah, she's like, oh my God. Like she knew that Lita wasn't there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She said, I'm really.
Yeah, she said, I'm really sorry. I don't think she was on the bus. And I'm like, no, she wasn't. It's like, oh, she's like, I know. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on then.
Yeah. Apology accepted.
Yeah. Because
we're good.
Right. I was like, is this going to be an issue every time you have gym? She goes, yeah, gym. So I showed up a little bit later because, you get ready and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so she winded up missing the bus. She's like, I think maybe I wasn't standing in the right spot. She was thinking.
Okay.
And then she's like, no. And then later when she called me, because now I was like, I'm waiting for your sister's bus to arrive. And then once she arrives, I'm going to go and pick you up. Now, her school is not close from here.
Yeah. I told this bus driver that it's okay. First day's chaotic. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Even with like Tia's bus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, where's the bus? Like it should have been here. By that time I waited 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And now my brain is like, great. Lita's waiting 20. I've already waited 20 minutes thinking that I'd be there in 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then, so I called the bus and then they're like, the bus is on its way. They're like, well, we don't know. Let's check dispatch. Checks with dispatch. They're like, yeah, we don't know where the bus is.
You know what? This sounds like a really boring story.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got me nervous when he's like, let me check the GPS. And we're like, well, I don't see him in the GPS. I'm like, what do you mean you don't see him on the GPS? You have to see him. What are you talking about? Don't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't tell me that.
Right. And then he kept
What are we living in the Bermuda Triangle? Buses just disappear?
Right.
Jesus.
And then he's like, oh, wait, I see him, but he's not moving. I'm like, why is it not moving?
Oh my God.
My brain was like.
Yeah, your brain always redlines anyways. Oh my God, it's blinking. What does that mean? Does it mean he's disappearing and reappearing?
Anywho, eventually she came.
How's that even possible?
And then I asked, then I try to call the other school where Lita is because she doesn't have a cell phone.
Right.
But nobody ever answers the freaking phone at that school. Really? The receptionist never, ever.
Really?
And I was bothered. So I would be bothered emailed
too.
The principal. I emailed the vice principal. I'm like,
ICC the entire department.
That was step number 3. I was gonna send to the school board.
I don't fuck around and escalate. I just escalate. I'm already there. Yeah, I don't take steps.
I was taking pure Karen energy.
Right.
But without using Karen verbiage.
Right. Where everything's a question. What are we doing here?
But it's so funny.
Are you going to do this every day?
Yeah. And then this morning, the bus was like late by 10 minutes. So the other mom that you were waiting with, because her son's like curly hair, right? And then so she's on the phone, like after 2 minutes.
Oh, you saw her?
Yeah. 2 minutes, she picked up the phone, right? And,
yeah.
And then the bus came and she was still on the phone.
Yeah. So
I'm like, oh, you're still on the phone. And she's like, yeah, I'm on hold. I'm just waiting for them. I'm like, oh shit. That's code for
I'm about to blast their asses.
You're gonna Karen on them.
Yeah. Perfect.
I was like, but it's here. Like,
perfect.
I was like, in my brain, I was like, but it's here. Like,
do your job, Karen. Get in there.
Anywho.
Own your Karening.
It was fun first day of school.
Yeah, that same mom, she's like, oh, are you here for this bus? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh. She starts dialing and I'm like, yes. Yes. Get him, Karen.
Use that privilege for my kids. And yours too, sure.
Are you ready for the word?
Yes.
Okay, the word for the show.
Wait, no.
Go ahead,
I'm not ready for the word.
Go ahead.
Because I have some stats for you.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's like you want to tell me a secret.
Yeah, I know, right? You know how
Shirley,
I was saying
I have some stats for you.
What's the stat?
I just have some stats.
You know how I was saying I'm AKA Cree Summer.
I thought you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and
Cree Summer. Yes.
Cree, and you said is it Bree?
I thought you said Bree. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cree Summer.
Right. Spelled with a K. Got it.
No.
Just kidding.
You know all the black women, they're like, no.
You motherfucker. You've been with him how long? Cree with a K. Fuck out of here. Fuck you, Maine. Fuck you, Maine.
Fucking Maine, fucking Maine. It's in my head.
I know. King Sosa.
Yeah, shout out to King Sosa.
Bars.
Cree Summer Franks is a Canadian American actress, voice actress, and singer.
Can-Am.
She began her career voice acting as Penny in
Oh, yeah.
Inspector
Okay. I know what you're
Gadget.
talking about. Yeah.
So now you know which Cree I'm talking about?
Yeah. I would literally only know one Cree, but okay.
Okay. Which
Yes,
Cree am I talking about? Other than the voice acting that she did on.
That's all I know. That's the only, oh, my God.
You should know this Cree Summer. Cree Summer Clove.
Okay.
Okay. I thought by just knowing Penny and the voice, you'd put two and two together.
I recognize
Cree?
the voice.
Okay. Anywho, she's
But in comparison to what other Cree?
well,
Okay.
let me continue.
Okay, so sorry.
She's a Black Canadian American you need to know.
Gotcha.
She's known for her husky and unique voice, and she was born in LA.
Yeah, she does a bunch of voices.
Yes.
I think she did a bunch for Rugrats too.
That's correct.
You're welcome.
That's okay. So you do know which Cree I'm talking about. So and it wasn't for long. Like she didn't.
There's another Cree?
She's the only Cree.
That's what I was saying. Okay, go.
It wasn't long after her birth, that her father decided to relocate the family to Saskatchewan, Canada, because he didn't want to raise
Saskatchewan.
He didn't want to raise the kids in Hollywood. So initially,
Oh yeah, that's not a place for kids.
Hollywood.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not a place for kids.
That's real. That's real.
Ask
real.
Jess. Shout out to Jess Wood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Real. Yeah. Yeah. Initially, her life was tough in Plain Cree Reserve, which the family lived in a house made out of mud.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that about her. Like I didn't know. Like I knew her.
Wait,
Yes,
she lives in Saskatchewan.
she's lived in Saskatchewan
With-
on the Plain Cree Reserve, where her family lived in a house made out of mud.
Her name is Cree.
Yes,
And she's part Cree indigenous.
I think her dad is part Cree. Yes, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks Métis. But
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And lived in a reserve
Gotcha.
called Plains Cree
Gotcha.
Reserve. Yeah. So by the time that she turned 13, she has already started making some money doing voiceover. So school was not like a thing. 'Cause she was
Making
like,
dash money.
I'm already making dash money. And through all of the acting, she started getting all these gigs.
Yeah.
And then, she auditioned for a show, which she happened to land and played the amazing role called Freddie on A Different World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the Black Canadian American you need to know.
Gotcha.
Miss Cree Summer.
Gotcha.
Not Bree
Gotcha.
Summer. Not Cree with a K. Summer with a K.
Forgive me. Woo. That's a no-fly zone.
Don't fly.
What did you just say to me? It's Cree, motherfucker. Cree. God damn it.
Something I learned that you need, thought I shared with you.
That you're amazing? I already knew that.
Oh, thanks, honey. Fun stat. Did you know that Black Canadians are people of full or partial sub-Saharan African descent who are citizens or permanent residents of Canada?
That was a lot. So no. No, I did not know that much.
Based on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And the total Canadian population of Black Canadians we're about 3.5%. So it's a total amount of 1,198,540.
Sure.
The region with the most significant Black people population-wise are GTA, like Toronto, Hamilton, Waterloo region, Windsor, Shelburne, Ontario, Ottawa, Gatineau, Greater Montreal, Shelburne, Nova Scotia, Yarmouth, Halifax, and Brooks.
Wait.
Those are the top 10 places that has the most populated amount of Black Canadians.
Wow. So all on the East Coast.
Then after that, in number 11 is Calgary, number 12 is Edmonton, and number 13 is Winnipeg. That's it.
Okay.
The rest, it's like, where the Black people at?
Right. They're all on the East Coast.
In Canada.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So if you're American or anyone in the world, you're listening and you're like, hey, I'm thinking of going to Canada. Where should I live? Choose those areas.
Right.
That's more likely you'll see Black people.
Right.
Ontario has the most amount of population at 4.7. Quebec is at 4.0. Alberta is at 3.3. BC is at 1.0.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Manitoba is at 2.4. Nova Scotia is at 2.4.
Yeah.
And did you know the population in those days, what am I saying? The historical population back in
the good old days?
In the good old days.
For the good old boys?
Yeah. In 1871, it was 21,500 Black people, Black Canadians. Yeah. Then it jumped plus 13% in 1941. Then it jumped to 78.3% in 1961, which is at 32,100. Yeah. The year that my parents came, they didn't even hit 40,000 yet.
So like, there was only 40,000 Black people in Canada
by the time my parents got here.
You're lying.
I'm not.
You're lying.
I was shocked. I know. I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
In all of Canada?
In all of Canada.
There was 40,000. No.
40K.
No.
It averaged about 40K when my parents.
What do you mean averaged?
Like it was in 19, because I don't have the specific year. My parents came around the 70s.
Okay.
And so around the time that they came, it was definitely around the 40. Let's say this. It was between 40K to 60K when my parents came.
Okay. So the most Black people we've had in Canada, and what year was it?
Around
1980.
My parents came around 1969, 70 or something like that in the 70s.
1970s.
Yeah, early 70s.
There's only 60,000 Black people in Canada.
Yeah. Because it was just, the whole immigration thing was just starting around the like mid 70s or something like that. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, there's no way. I said,
I'm fucking speechless right now.
I know. I was speechless. And you know why? Here's the thing. At first, I saw that number too. I know. My eyes were the same as it's. You guys should see Clove's eyes. Big blue eyes are like still like open wide. I thought the same thing too. Until I remember a story my mom told me. That when she came to Canada, she remembered when she would take the subway to Montreal, that kids would cry when they would see my mom because they hardly saw Black people. Yeah. So they used to be scared of her.
Well, like, that's because of their parents.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's lots of kids who hardly see Black people, but they don't cry when they see Black people.
Yeah. So they would treat her like she's a fucking monster, like scared of her.
Your mom scares me, but okay. Okay. I hear you.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember her telling me this story, and I was like, in my mind, I thought, but it's the 70s. Trudeau was like, had this huge, like, come everyone kind of thing, especially, you know what I mean? Well,
everyone except Black people, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
In certain, right. Yeah. You're absolutely right on
Very
that.
selective on the model minority.
Right. So when I saw the number, I was like, oh my gosh, it's starting to make sense, her story, that the fact that kids would be freaking afraid of her, because
I don't see how the correlation,
she
causation,
was just basically, and to continue with her story, she basically was saying, like, at the time she thought it was fucked up, and she was like, understood, okay, it's because these kids hardly they don't see Black people, but it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I don't want to say it's because they don't see Black people. I mean, I've seen little white kids who've never seen a Black kid before, and they're more intrigued. True. Do you know what I mean? And not scared.
Right. Like, it's French Canadians. It's Montreal. It's like a whole
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's more like the racism. Right. But anyways, But also, I don't see how those two things are connected. But anyways.
But for me, it was connected in terms of where she was. It's Montreal. For me, it just made sense based on her story. Yeah. where she lived,
Gotcha.
just the whole thing. And she was
Gotcha.
saying how like shocked she was
Right.
and bothered by it
Sure.
and just weirded out by the whole thing.
Sure.
And then when she told me the story, she told me the story, it was nice that we started laughing our heads off. Like she was like, now in hindsight, when you think about it, it's fucking ridiculous and it's hilarious. I was like, right? We're
But she felt bad.
yeah, but at
That's
the time,
horrible.
but she did say at the time, she did feel like what the hell?
Insecure about it.
Right.
Sure. I mean, like she's in a bus full of white people and this
Little
white child
these
starts
kids?
crying
Right.
because she's there because of her presence.
Exact.
And I'm sure the parent was not using this as a learning opportunity
Absolutely
to say, listen,
not.
it's okay.
Absolutely
Different
not.
people have different colored skin. That's the way it is. It's, it's part of being human. It's part of the human condition.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, sorry about your luck, but my kid doesn't like you and you're making him cry.
Right. So then in 18
Do you see that, everybody? Do you see that, all the other white people on the bus? Do you see how this black lady is making my child cry?
Yeah. And then so the numbers jumped plus 596.2%
All right.
in 1981, where the population was 239,500.
Awesome.
Okay. And then now in 2016, the population is at plus 26.7%. Well, not now. The latest stats, it's at 1,198,000.
Oh, I thought there was like 3 million black people in Canada.
No.
I thought it was the same. I think because in the U.S. it's like a 10-to-1
I think
ratio.
When was the last stats? I
But
think
I
it
don't know.
was 2019. So we could be close to 3 million
Trust
by
me,
now.
I am probably wrong.
Yeah, the latest stat I think could be. I think we're
Okay.
hitting close to. I think
Right.
I think it's like it's actually 2.7 million. I remember now
Right.
because I was talking on a podcast somewhere,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
it's around 2.7 million
Gotcha.
by now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but I was shocked too. Trust me, I was like, I thought
That's insane.
it was so much more in the
Yeah.
70s. I
Yeah.
thought that's when everybody came.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
right. That's what I learned.
Nice.
What's the word?
The word for the show is supercilious.
Supercilious. Supercilious.
S is for super and the U is for unique. The P is for perfection and you know we can't get beat. We can't be beat. Something like that.
Yeah.
Supercilious. Supercilious.
Okay.
Would you like a clue?
Yes.
Imperial wives never miss an opportunity to be supercilious when dealing with people in the service industry.
I like being Karens and irate.
It's always better to be humble and succeed than to be supercilious and fail.
Then to be all over the place, to be
Supercilious.
wild and out and all over the place.
Okay, let's go through the clues again. Imperial wives never miss an opportunity to be supercilious when dealing with people in the service industry. What did you say earlier? You said being a Karen?
Yeah. Like trying to be bougie but rude.
Okay. It is behaving or looking as though one thinks one is superior to others. Supercilious.
Supercilious.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. So because you said
S is for super.
and
The U is for unique.
Okay, we gotta let it go. Okay. Supercilious. Well, you use the word superior, right? So that's super helpful. And definitely oh, come on. Okay, supercilious.
Yeah.
SUPERCILIOUS.
You got it.
Yay!
SUPERCILIOUS.
Yay!
Supercilious.
Thank you, Latin. I don't know why I say that.
Wow. Silly. Got it.
In the news.
News. I like the news. News. What is in the news? Yay, the news is not bad.
So thousands of books, including Tintin, Asterix, Lucky Luke, are being destroyed in some schools, specifically French schools
Yeah.
In the southern western part of Ontario.
Yeah.
They burnt some, they threw out some.
Yeah.
And they destroyed it in the school because of racism. They're like, we bury the ashes of racism.
Yeah.
This is by the Providence Catholic School Board, which brings together about 30 schools.
Catholics burning books. Interesting.
For racism.
Gotcha.
For racism.
Gotcha.
And has carried out
Do you know they made
a purge
Yeah.
out of their institutional libraries
Yeah.
of anything.
But you know that they made the remaining books more valuable.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because there's less copies out there now. Yeah.
Oh.
They could have donated it to a museum. You know what I mean? They could have donated it. They could have donated it to people who collect art that's racist. You know what I mean? For that specific purpose.
I like how
of
you said
documenting
people
all the
who
races.
collect art that's racist.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason that they're doing this is because it's a gesture of reconciliation with indigenous people with First Nation.
Yeah, it was hella racist too. Like I remember, I think Peyo is the one who used to draw Asterix.
Okay.
And
The artist you're talking about?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the way that they would depict black people. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Indigenous people. Oof.
Oh yeah. And
It leaned on all the stereotypes.
Well, I used to read a lot of Tay and
Same.
Asterix myself,
Same.
and Lucky Luke.
Same.
And it's not just those.
Tintin in the Congo.
Ooh.
Girl.
Oh, I remember. I did not go through that one.
Right.
I think that's the only one that I was like,
Oh my
this
God.
is ridiculous. Yeah. I remember looking at the character because that's what it is. It's a caricature of their idea of that person, and everyone's involved in that book.
These are
of
French,
what they think of black people.
Yeah, this is French people art. Like it's just
so
like,
French,
so layered,
so false. Right. And I remember like I would skip through that. That there was one story where I think they gathered a bunch of people to help them fight.
Is this Asterix, Lucky Luke, or
Asterix?
Tintin? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember seeing in this article, the image, and it made me remember the storyline.
Right.
And I remember looking at it. I remember flipping that page because of the African person that was part of like being their crew of helping them fight.
Yeah.
And they had different cultures.
Yeah. I tried to emulate Asterix's drawing style, like when I was way younger, right? I just remember thinking that, I shouldn't draw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not a good idea.
I'm going to draw the white people.
Right.
Yeah.
So the person who carried out this sorting, someone from the school board called Susie Lies, an indigenous knowledge keeper posing as an independent researcher and co-chair of the, I don't know why they said posing. This person.
Because they don't believe them.
Right. Susie is a co-chair of the Indigenous Peoples Commission, the Library Party of Canada, since 2016.
Right.
And according to her, the youth books portray early peoples as unreliable, lazy, drunk, and dumb. And
okay, gotcha.
Or deliver misinformation, negative portrayal, or misrepresentation of Indigenous people in the pictures.
Straight up bigotry and racism.
Right. So Quebec comic book authors reacted and dismayed by this process, right?
Oh yeah, you can't, shut down art.
Right, and this is the case of Marcel Lavasseur, whose character La Flèche was banned from school. This is not a history book, defends the author. We use history as a backdrop and we have fun. That's what he thinks. Yeah.
Racism is fun, y'all. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Being racist is so fun, Shirley.
Yeah.
Ask this artist. Ask Marcel.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. They burned them. They got rid of them.
That's wild.
Yeah. In other news, it's about time.
Yeah.
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 It's freaking about time with these books.
Correct.
Yeah. And I remember at the library, the reason I read these books, because I think they were like the only ones that were cartoons, like that was comic books at the library.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff I wasn't really interested in. It was too.
Yeah.
It was too little. It was too like when I was a kid. I was like, this is kindergarten shit. I'm not in kindergarten. I'm an elementary motherfucker.
I'm a grown up.
Practically. Yeah. I'm in grade 3.
Oh my God.
I need more.
Yeah. Give me some substance. Give me some story arcs.
Give me some story arcs.
I want friends to become enemies.
Right.
Enemies to become friends.
And I think maybe because I felt like it had, I mean, when I think about it, I think I was gravitated to those two, Tay-Tay and Looky Look and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it seemed a little bit more mature.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they drew Tay-Tay with like 4 fingers. Whoa. Whoa.
What?
Well, before everything else was 3 fingers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
Especially coming out of, Peyo was the guy who did the Smurfs. That's right.
I read a lot of Smurfs too. Yeah. So it's about freaking time.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe other schools will follow suit.
Yeah. The Smurfs are a whole other ball of wax.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
There's only one woman Smurf,
that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
She was made by the men. Oh, no, she was made by Gargamel.
Right. In order to entice and be like a spy.
Yes.
That's right. But then she learned like,
I don't know.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I don't know that much, but yeah.
Something like
that's
that.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's bad. I remember that too.
Yeah.
I was like, where's the other more representation? Why is it just her?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
They gave her high heels.
Yeah. Yeah, like you didn't need to. Didn't they introduce one with dark hair though?
I can't remember.
She had black hair. I don't know if it was her.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Anywho.
Maybe I'm totally messing up the whole
Somebody email us and TSACP.
Or don't.
Yeah, tsacpodcast@gmail.com.
All right.
In other news, yes, everyone's like feeling their feels on this, where Steve from Blue's Clues is sorry he abandoned the children.
Abandoned?
Oh, yeah. It was abrupt. It was like, what the frick, man?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
There was a whole transitionary period.
No, there was not.
Yeah. Remember he introduced Joe and Joe came in and took over?
No. What happened was, and I remember watching
what had happened was.
I remember Ronan was like, love this show. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Taught him how to draw because he was doing his like clues and
Sure.
drawing and stuff. And he just told everybody one day that he's leaving, and then he introduced Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't like prep like, hey guys.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, what's gonna happen is
All
I'm
right.
gonna be going soon. So there's a couple of days left with you, and I'll be like, you'll get to know my cousin Joe, and then introduces Joe. No, he just said, hey guys, I'm leaving.
Okay.
So this is what he shared.
Hi. You got a second? Okay. You remember how when we were younger, we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt, freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt.
Yeah.
I just kind of got up and went to college. And that was really challenging, by the way, but great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time. And now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do.
That's very sweet.
It is, right? Yeah. So a lot of people are like in their feels about it. I know I was like, what? Why are you going?
I'm glad that he left. I'm glad that he moved on. It's a good lesson. Everything comes to an end.
Yeah.
Everything
but
comes to an
end. But it was really too fast. It was like.
Oh, was it?
It was.
Was it, baby?
It was.
Do you need a hug? People got to do their own thing, man.
No, but he's
got no time to like talk to millions of people about it. He's just, look, I got to go, man.
Ronan was about like 4 years old when this happened.
There's no child out there that was devastated by Steve's leaving. The show continued. Everything was fine.
I shared the video with him and he said, oh my God, yeah, that was was sweet. Like he thought the video was really sweet, and he was like, I was like a
Sure.
kid. I was a little kid.
People grow.
Yeah.
They got to leave the nest
Okay.
to grow.
Yes, true, but it was really abrupt.
Yeah. No, I'm glad.
And
I don't think it was abrupt.
some people,
But that's how I live my life.
well, you were like working.
No, but that's how I live my life. Like, okay, I'm leaving now. Did Clove leave? Yeah. He didn't even say bye. That's how it goes.
I guess people do goodbyes in different ways.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Walter said, yes.
I'm like a cloud of smoke. Poof.
Walter said, yes, I was already grown and understood he had some self-improvement to do. This video still choked me up. It choked up so many people. Alexis wrote, I watched the video earlier today. Oh my goodness. So many feels. It's very sweet.
It is.
You know, and
It is.
he continues saying things like, you know, you probably have student loans now, starting your life,
Yeah.
you know, family and things like that.
Because that's where he is right now.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, but you were always in my mind, kind of thing, and I appreciate that, and yeah.
And then he's like, deuces once again.
Well, he comes in now, I think, like during like holidays or special moments like that. So now they're on their third host, and the third host is
Not doing so well. So they got to bring Steve back.
No, this is for their
Steve, you got to come back, man. It's never been the same.
So yeah, so
We just can't get the advertising dollars without Steve.
That's interesting you say that, because the new host, is Filipino, which is totally dope.
Okay.
And I was like, yes, representation. We need
Sure.
more Filipinos.
I'm like 1% Filipino. Just saying.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's really nice. It's to celebrate the Blues Clues 25th anniversary.
You're kidding.
That they did this too.
Oh, okay.
It was nice. It was sweet.
Put a fat grip in his bank account.
And also maybe
Get that money, Steve.
some people were like, well, I guess music didn't work out after all.
So wait, he was doing music?
I think he wanted to pursue music when he left.
Good for him.
Yeah. But I think he does music for, I can't remember, for television shows or music or for films. Something like that. I can't remember. But anywho, yeah. Last piece of news.
What a jerk. Well, I guess it didn't work out after all. What a jerk.
I know, right? He's fine.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a long.
Yeah, he's doing himself very well, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he started with
To
blues,
still be on brand after leaving?
right?
Come on.
And you got people in
Yeah.
their fields and they're like 20, 21, 22,
Yeah.
23, 24,
Yeah.
25 maybe.
Well, I guess the music industry didn't work out. Fuck out of here.
It's because that person's hurt.
Fuck you, mean. Fuck you, mean. Jesus.
The pettiness,
Oh,
right?
my God. It's like that person was really hurt that
Like,
Steve left.
butt
Like, oh my
hurt.
God.
Yeah.
Like for weeks. For years, he was like, fuck, Steve. What the fuck? Can't deal with Joe. Ah, it's not the same. Orange, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they tried to have Joe wear a different color. It didn't. Anywho, moving on.
Sure.
In other news, last piece of news, someone just played a hilarious prank at a Virginia school board. Basically, I don't know what the school board meeting, but they really think it's the students of the school board who did this.
Is this like,
Phil McCracken.
yeah. Yeah.
Phil McCracken.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. He's totally in the meeting moment.
Yeah.
Soak. Sook. Mahidik.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mahidik.
They did that one time on Saturday Night Live.
Ophelia McHawk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and there's like
Ophelia McHawk.
nobody sitting. There's hardly anybody at this meeting.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because of COVID, right?
Eileen
It's
Dover.
probably all online.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Eileen Dover.
Okay, I
Like
can't.
he has no.
I can't. I feel my empathy is going to the roof right now because I'm like, people are
Don.
laughing at you, bro.
Kiddick.
Oh my God.
What's the
Don Kiddick.
Donkey dick.
Wayne
Okay,
Kerr.
stop. Done.
Wayne Kerr.
idea.
Oh my God.
Totally a Bart Simpson style pranking that happened, which was, they still don't know who did it. It's definitely the students, I say.
Oh, they know who did it. Everybody knows who did it.
That's it. A lot more lighter news, but that's it for the news.
Sure.
Bible scriptures 90210.
Get your Bible app ready, Shirley. It's time for Bible Scriptures 90210. And this is the part of the Shirley and Clove podcast where I share with the love of my life and you, the listener, what I've read in the Bible so far and parody it by trying to make it sound all edgy and shit.
Yes.
So last time we heard about David's deadly dirty Mac skills. David having more kids.
Oh my God, like dirty.
Yeah. And Uriah getting played by David and Joab. Or Joab. So the players tonight are just Nathan and David, I think. There might be some other people in there, but whatever. And we're doing the second book of Samuel, chapter 12. And I call this one, It's Cool. I'm over it.
I'm over it.
I'm over it.
Chapter 12.
That's right. So we fade from black, and we open on Nathan and David sitting at a table by candlelight. Nathan looks at David with intense eyes and is all like, have you heard the story of the rich guy and the poor guy? Well, the rich guy had a shit ton of livestock, and the poor guy had only a single lamb. And he took super good care of that lamb. He treated it like it was his daughter, like cradling it to bed at night and shit like that. As David was listening, Nathan leaned forward and was all like, then one night, some guy shows up out of nowhere to the rich guy's house and is super hungry. So the rich guy decides to feed him. But guess what? He doesn't use any of his own livestock. Instead, he steals the poor guy's lamb to make dinner for the random guy who showed up at his house. Just then, David's eyes looked super angry, and he was all like, who would do something like that? You'd have to be a serious piece of shit to do something like that, and the poor guy should get at least 4 times what he lost. Nathan leans on the table with both elbows and is all like, plot twist, numbnuts. You're the rich guy. God told me to tell you to pull your head out of your ass.
Nathan is saying that to David?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Because he saw what you did.
That's right. God wants to remind you that he gave you everything you needed. And if you were missing anything, he would have given you that as well. God doesn't understand how you could do Uriah dirty like that.
Wait, how do you know?
Because God talks to Nathan. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Did you think by having him killed by the Amorites that God wouldn't know it was you? God's not letting this one slide, David, and is going to make sure you'll always need a sword. David, God thinks you despise him. David at this point looks heartbroken, and Nathan is all like, God wants you to know that he's going to make sure all your wives have sex with all your friends in broad daylight.
Dang.
David bowed his head and was all like, I'm so trash.
Yeah.
Then Nathan put his hand on David's shoulder and was all like, but don't sweat it too much. God doesn't want to kill you. He's going to kill the boy you just had with Bathsheba. After Nathan had left for the night, God makes David and Bathsheba's son sick. This made David very emotional, and he was pleading with God to make it stop. This sent David into a spiral, and he stopped eating and started to sleep on the floor in a burlap sack. If anyone tried to help him in any way, he would shoo them away. David did this for 7 days until his son died. David's servants were too worried that David would lash out to the news of his son dying.
I love how people around him every time like he has a mood.
Yeah.
Like their go-to, like from like is that he's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
And that they know when he freaks out,
because
people die.
Yeah, he's off the chain. Yeah. So David's servants were too worried that David would lash out to the news of his son dying, so they tried to avoid telling him right away. But David figured it out from all the whispering. Once he asked them if his son was dead, and they confirmed it, he got up, took a shower, hydrated with some lotions, got dressed, went to church, came home, and ate a bunch of food. All his servants were skeptical and were all like, what the fuck is up with you, David? When your son was alive, you were all super depressed, and now that he's dead, you're all of a sudden back together again? So David was all like, yeah, you're right. I thought maybe God would change his mind, but seeing as he didn't, I figured I could finally go get something to eat. It's not like I can raise him from the dead myself or anything. Once David was done eating, he wiped his face and went and had sex with Bathsheba.
Yo, dude. Why?
She got pregnant again, and they eventually named their son Jedediah.
Okay. Well, still not cool.
Right. So going back to after David was done eating, a messenger from Joab bursts into the dining room. The messenger is all out of breath, and he's all like, David, Joab said to hurry up and get to Ramah if you want to be the one to conquer it. If you don't go there soon, Joab will have no choice but to rename the city after him. So David quickly rounds up all the remaining troops of Israel and swarm into Ramah to take it over. Once the king of Ramah was dead, David put his ginormous crown on his head, which supposedly weighed as much as a person, and had a bunch of jewels on it. Once David had made sure...
Drag.
That's total drag. Yeah, that's camp. That's so camp. Once David made sure that the remaining Ammonite people were all enslaved, he returned back home to Israel. Fade to black. End of chapter 12. Fun Bible facts. According to Wikipedia, Ramah was a city in ancient Israel in the land allocated to the tribe of Benjamin, whose name means height. It was located near Gibeon and Mizpah to the west, Gibeah to the south, and Geba to the east. It has been identified with modern Aram, about 8 kilometers north of Jerusalem, which is a Palestinian town that lies northeast of Jerusalem. All right, so next time we'll hear more about one of David's sons sexually assaulting one of David's daughters.
Oh my gosh, I cannot.
And a revenge plot from David's other kids.
Revenge plot? Oh my goodness. David is like, isn't more people get in power, the more messy it gets.
Yeah, more money, more problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate, you gotta donate. Well, we learned about the second book of Samuel.
Chapter 12.
Chapter 12, yes. Nathan sitting by the candle with David and told him God gave him the tea. You didn't have to do that. Now your boy is gonna die. But
God
it's okay.
thinks you hate him.
David got it through, got another kid. Now it's gonna be all messy and shit. Pass the plate
And donate. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate and donate.
Pass the plate.
You gotta donate. I'm awesome.
Yes. Go to ChondillaNetwork.com, and when you get to the website, at the top right corner, click on the donate button. Your donation honestly helps us to keep on doing the show in hopes that we can do this all the time, providing you more content, more Bible scriptures 90210, more news, more fun, more conversation, and so on. Yeah. Ooh, I hear the little symbol at the end there.
Nice.
Did you add a little echo in there or something changed? No?
No.
Ah, okay. Maybe it's just my headset.
Oh.
I have a joke before we go.
Go for it.
My boss fired me today for accidentally deleting over 1,000 megabytes of important files.
Okay.
He told me I lost the gig. I lost the gig, Chloe. The gig.
Get it. Gig.
Again, sign up to our newsletter at the bottom of the site. Visit ChondillaNetwork.com. If you want show notes, the links, images of what we're talking about, and obviously you have to check out the full song and video of the songs we play at the beginning. You get all that in the show notes, again, by visiting ChondillaNetwork.com. Join the community, the Facebook group, by searching Shirley and Clove, or if you just do facebook.com/group TSACP. That's the Shirley and Clove Podcast. TSACP.
Love it.
You could tweet us, TSAC Podcast. That's TSAC Podcast. And use the hashtag TSACP. If you've learned anything, have a feedback or question about the episode, write it as a Apple Podcast review or as a Podchaser review. 5-star that is, and we'll read it on the show. And send us an email to tsacpodcast@gmail.com. That's tsacpodcast@gmail.com.
All right.
What's the code?
In order to escape accountability for his crimes, the perpetrator does everything in his power to promote forgetting. If secrecy fails, the perpetrator attacks the credibility of his victim. If he cannot silence her absolutely, he tries to make sure no one listens. Yes, that was by Judith Lewis Herman, MD, in their book Trauma and Recovery, The Aftermath of Violence from Domestic Abuse to Political Terror.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting stuff.
That's a book
Mm-hmm.
to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, till tomorrow. Peace.
And a shit ton of love.
Wait, you're still listening to podcasts? Well, if you love this episode so much, just head over to iTunes or Spotify to subscribe and leave a review.